Hi guys, thanks for watching another video from Texas Toast Guitars. I am Matt Flaherty, and today we are going to start a new series of videos, and I want to call them Ask Matt. A bunch of you guys ask questions during the live streams, or you email me questions, or you call and ask me questions, and sometimes during the live streams I miss them because, I don't know, I'm drunk. Or sometimes I get a email question and I don't get to that because then I'm only answering that question one time, and what if multiple people want to know the answer to the same question? So we thought we would start a new video series, and here we are. So today I've got 2 or 3 questions. 2 of them come from the live stream that I didn't answer last week, and one of them was emailed to me from an alumni. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to sit here in my living room and invite you guys into my home and answer some questions about guitar building. Maybe you'll get something out of it. I hope that you do. So our first question comes from, like I said, the live stream video, and it's from my friend Tom L., who asks, actually he says first, "Hey Matt, I love the Challenger carved top," and then so thank you, Tom. And then he gets to the question, which is, once you finalize a design, do you save that one and then use the copy carver to make it over and over again, or are they all one-offs? That is a great question, Tom. He's absolutely right. We have gone through many iterations of Challenger carved tops. In fact, we have 3 that are in paint right now that are all a lot different. And I think I have finalized the one that I want to go with. But I've gone through probably 7 or 8 versions of the carved top. As a matter of fact, one of my early videos, there's a Challenger carved top, and it was so unusual and so different that I only made the one. It was made out of zebra wood. But I think that what will probably happen once we get the Challenger carved top done is I'll be able to finalize some templates, some step templates, and I'll be able to get them all roughly the same, and then grind them down with my angle grinder with the flap wheel sander, and use a very coarse bit on a random orbit sander. So they will be very similar, but they will all be a little bit different, and that's kind of one of the cool things that you get with a carved top is, you know, flat top is easy to do. They're all the same. They're all flat. Carved top is sort of like a woman. They're all a little different. So yeah, we're going to go with the carved top. Once I get, like I said, once I get the idea finalized, and I think I'm really close. As a matter of fact, Tom, that one in the video is not where I want to land. That one has the flat portion. It's shoved back a little bit further than I'd like it to be. So I think I've got it dialed in. In fact, the one that I really like is going to Vincent in Hong Kong. And it's got 2 P90s. Wait for that reveal coming up soon. All right, the next question is actually a 2-part question. It's from Blackjack Guitars, and he wants to know, A, are there any SGs with a Floyd Rose? And 2, why not a Jazzmaster with a Floyd Rose? So, good questions. I'm going to take the first one first because it's first, and because it's maybe the more difficult one to answer. Are there any SGs with a Floyd Rose? I don't know. The real issue would be that the SG shaped guitar is traditionally quite thin, and the Floyd Rose is has to have enough meat for the fulcrum to actually operate. So you could either make a thicker SG shaped guitar, which would be a cool way to go, and then you can put a Floyd on it. Or you could use the very smallest block that you could get with a Floyd, and I don't even know if you could do that with an SG, because they're about 1 3/8 thick, maybe even a little less. The other thing that you would have to do, you would have to make it yourself, because the Gibson SG is set up for a two-nomatic bridge, and that's you need to have the height from the top of your frets to the top of your guitar body at the scale line be a little taller than it would be required to be with the Floyd. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, why not just shoehorn it in there and kludge it together and make it fit and have it be tall? That'd be cool, right? No. And that brings me to the other question. Why not a Floyd on a Jazzmaster? I guess you could. I just don't think it would be very neat. That's just me. I'm kind of a fuddy-duddy. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a Jazzmaster with a Floyd one day. You certainly could. There'd be no reason not to. I just don't know what the reason to do it would be. So this brings me up to quite possibly one of the more detailed questions that I have in email form from my friend Daryl Hazelwood, who is a Texas Toast Wood, Sweat, and Beers alum. And this sort of question comes up a lot, and it's about bridges and angles and measurements and things like that. And he writes, I have a question that's likely to be wordy, so I thought I'd email it to you. When looking at different bridges, I see that there is a bit of difference between each bridge in the string spread measurements. And he gives the example 51.5 millimeters, 53.6 millimeters, etc. Is there even a need to be concerned about this measurement being too big in relation to your neck taper, where the E strings will end up too close to the edge of your neck? Would this concern cause you to not purchase a certain bridge, or do you just buy what you want and go with it anyway and try to ensure the bridge is truly centered with the center line of the neck, center of the body, letting the strings end up where they end up? He goes on to say, this makes me wonder if you went through many iterations of neck designs, nut width at the 12th fret, before you settled on one designed for your Challenger and Daily Driver guitars. Also, have you ever produced a video about positioning bridge on a guitar? Now you probably let Steve's templates provide you with the measurements to locate the bridge. Okay, so this is a very detailed question. I'm going to try and answer it as thoroughly as possible. One piece of advice that I have for anyone building a musical instrument is to have the bridge before they start to build the guitar. It's very difficult to build the guitar and then attempt to find a bridge for it, and it's considerably easier to design the instrument around the bridge that you want to use. Having said that, if your neck dimensions are approximately that 1 5/8, 1 11/16 at the nut, and 2 1/8 to 2 1/4 at the width at the last fret, whether it's the 22nd or 24th fret, let's just say 22nd fret for the sake of conversation, you should be able to use a wide variety of bridges and not worry too much about it. However, I also encourage you to do a full-size drawing, and in fact, if you come to one of our workshops, the very first thing we do, whether we're using Steve's templates or not, is a full-size drawing, because it's considerably easier to draw on paper than it is on wood. It's easier to erase on paper than it is to erase on wood. But more importantly, sometimes during the build process, it's really nice to be able to go to your full-size drawing and go, aha, that's right. Say, for example, the measurement at the 22nd fret width is this, and my bridge is that, and they work together because of this. So yeah, full-size drawing is absolutely a critical thing, and the more detailed you can make your full-size drawing, the better. Aside from that, barring that, if you have your bridge, you will be rewarded when it's time to assemble the guitar. That way, you won't have to worry too much about, string spread, etc. What I like to do is get a piece of, not kite string, but something like that you can buy at a home center, and actually use that as a surrogate string, kind of lay that out on your full-size drawing, or even your guitar, and set the bridge up and kind of find where it is. And just use that as like a guide. But for the most part, it won't be that big of a deal. Keep in mind, too, that different string spreads at the bridge will also have an impact on what pickups you use, provided you care about the strings going precisely over the poles of the guitar. For example, you might have seen, like Seymour Duncan has pickups called F space. That's essentially a humbucker size pickup that you're going to use in a Fender style guitar. So it's a little bit different than a Gibson style string spacing if you want the strings to line up over the poles. So like I said, the more of these things you can do. Have a full-size drawing, have the bridge in your possession, even have the pickups wouldn't be a bad idea. He also asks, what did we do to land on the bridges that that we decided on? The fact of the matter is that we used to have our own bridges manufactured for us, and I liked them until I didn't like them. And then we finally landed on some Hipshot bridges. Some of them are custom made for us. Some of them are things you can just buy, and I really like the Hipshot stuff. I think that having Hipshot bridges and Hipshot tuners is really tier 1 kind of components, and some people might argue with me, and I will not argue back because I don't care. But I think that the Hipshot stuff is really a first-class organization, and anytime I can use the Hipshot, I will. So that's one of the reasons that we landed on the Hipshot bridge. So I hope that answers your question, Daryl. And if any of you guys would like to come and join us for one of our Wood, Sweat, and Beers workshops, please consider doing so. We are already booked, already scheduled for the next year, and there's classes available. Lots and lots of good stuff coming your way. So finally, I would like to thank everybody who has been complimenting us on the Carved Top Challenger and the Super Casanova and the Prostitute guitar. We've gotten a lot of really excellent comments about those. So thank you guys for staying with us through that. We've finally gotten to the point where our Challenger guitar is pretty much exactly where we want it to be, and our Carved Top is very, very close to being exactly where we want it to be. So don't be surprised if you see some new stuff coming your way from Chris and myself at Texas Toast Guitars. Like I said, I'm actually working on a Super Casanova project right now that may have a limited run of 4 or 5 guitars. There's some new Challengers coming out, and like I said, the Carved Tops will be available very, very soon. So anyway, thank you for all the nice comments, you guys. I really like I really like hearing from all of you, and I trust and value your opinion when you tell me that we are doing a good job. So thanks so much. So here's to you. So anyway, gang, I hope that you liked this new video format where I answer some of your questions. If you have some questions and you're a Patreon member or a YouTube member, please send them my way, and I will do my best to answer them to the best of my ability here in my living room. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope that you have a great rest of your night. And until then, this is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.